Welcome back to the Hannahcast YouTube channel, and today it is time for final Critics' Choice Awards nomination predictions. Critics' Choice Awards are, at least as of recording this, 5 days away. It's going to be Friday, and it's currently Monday when I'm recording this, and we've got a lot of new insight. We've got some shortlists for a lot of the tech categories. I feel like the only film I think would be affected by this in either not getting nominations or getting nominations would be Avatar: Fire and Ash, mainly because like the critics just hadn't seen it by the time the shortlists came out, but there is like write-in options. So I think for some categories like, visual effects, like obviously I think Avatar is still going to get in there because of that write-in option. And considering how many critics were actually waiting to vote just so they could see Avatar, I think Avatar is going to be okay in some of these categories. We'll just have to see how okay it's going to be. Any other films, like, I know Sentimental Value missed in a lot of shortlists, but at that point, it's like the critics had seen Sentimental Value and they didn't shortlist it. Now, granted, this was done by a committee, but it's also like, again, the critics have seen it. So it's like, I don't know if that's really going to be much of a thing. Again, like I said, Avatar is the only option I'm really considering when it comes to films that did not appear on the shortlists. They've added some new categories like sound, stunt design, and for ensemble, they've combined it to like ensemble and casting, which is kind of weird. Those are two different things entirely, but let's just get started with the predictions, shall we? All right, for Best Picture, and this will like fill up later on because, I'm having 5 images at first and then 5 images later, and then all the rest of the categories are going to be 6. You'll see what I mean. But yeah, one battle after another, I feel like it's just going to win this. I don't really think there's much of a discussion to be had here. I guess its biggest contender is Sinners, which did appear in every single shortlist possible in at Critics' Choice, which is pretty fascinating. But again, also you have to take into consideration that Sinners is also like a period film that also has vampires, so that's although it is kind of strange that One Battle After Another didn't get makeup and yet Sinners did, but it is kind of tough. But Sinners, I would say, is easily number 2. Hamnet is an easy number 3. That's fine. Frankenstein, we'll see how things go later on, but I do think Critics' Choice will be very, very, very nice to Frankenstein. I mean, if they were very nice to Nightmare Alley, I mean, so much to where they gave that visual effects, which, in hindsight, that's really, really funny and really dumb. But if they're gonna go all out for Nightmare Alley, they're gonna go all out for Frankenstein. Yeah. Marty Supreme, I think if I'm not mistaken, the review embargo for that is gonna be lifting today. But right now, like I don't see any reason to doubt Marty Supreme right now. The reactions were all great. Some people are saying maybe this could win Best Picture, but it's like I've heard from the pundits that like even if they're saying it's great, it's not going to win Best Picture. So yeah, then we get to the bottom 5, and this is where things get interesting, because traditionally, the Critics' Choice Awards don't usually go for international films that much, unless they are like top 5 contenders, like Roma, like Emilia Perez, like, I'm trying to think, yeah, that's all I can really think of right now, because a lot of the others, like All Quiet on the Western Front, or Anatomy of a Fall, or The Zone of Interest, or all these other films, it's just like, usually they don't really pop off until, like, BAFTA. But the weird thing is we, like, not only have a lot of the films for Best Picture been very underwhelming, but it's also, like, some of them appeared a lot in those shortlists. And it makes me think the Critics' Choice have seen a lot of these movies. And I think they're also aware that a lot of these international films are becoming very big contenders. So Sentimental Value, I think that's the easiest one to call. I think that's it's going to get like some above the line love. It's going to get some acting love, so that's fine. No Other Choice is interesting because it appeared in a lot of shortlists. Like, it appeared in way more shortlists than Sentimental Value. Like, Sentimental Value didn't get casting or editing, and yet No Other Choice did. That's pretty impressive to me. So it makes me think maybe No Other Choice is bigger than we think it is. So I'm going to go with No Other Choice for number 7. I mean, I hope this happens. But again, the fact that it did that well on the shortlists means a lot to me. I think it even got casting. I think No Other Choice even got, yeah, I don't know if I mentioned casting for No Other Choice above sentimental value, but it did do that. So that's impressive. Jay Kelly. Jay Kelly's that film that's like kind of on the cusp of Best Picture for me. Because like some of the reactions are turning to be like pretty damn good. Like much better than, I don't know what was happening over at Venice when this premiered, because like the response for this is becoming a lot more positive. So there's still life in this film. Now, whether or not that actually translates to the Oscars, I'm not sure, because this seems to be a film that appeals definitely to America, but not really internationally. So I think that's where the Academy is going to be like the ultimate test, because obviously it sounds like maybe the guilds and the Critics' Choice Awards might like Jay Kelly, but will the Golden Globes like Jay Kelly? Will the BAFTAs like Jay Kelly? I don't know. Then Avatar, Fire and Ash. I'm still pretty confident this could get into Critics' Choice. I mean, again, the fact that that Avatar has just premiered. It is just premiered. And the Critics' Choice voting is happening as we speak. I feel like this film is going to be on voters' minds while like this is all going on. So, yeah. And then there's the big question mark, Wicked for Good, because I've been adamant that Wicked for Good's not getting in Best Picture at the Oscars, because the reviews are significantly worse than the first film. The audience reception is worse than the first film. People will say, well, what about the cinema score? Okay, well, what about the IMDb score? What about the Letterboxd score? Like, even the Rotten Tomatoes score for the film, like the audience, is worse than the first film. Like, I'm sorry, but the audience scores are dropping. They are dropping. Even the Metacritic score for the audiences in Wicked for Good are worse. The first film had like an 8.6, but the second film, like the Wicked for Good, has a 6.8 Metacritic for audiences. Like, sure, yeah, they have the same cinema score, but, like, every other metric shows that it's performing worse. And not only that, but the shortlists also showed that the Critics' Choice Awards are not loving this as much as the first film. Because the first Critics' Choice Awards, or no, not the first, but, like, the Critics' Choice Awards last year, they nominated Wicked for cinematography. It did not show up here. So it's like, what? And this is the film where I've heard better things about the cinematography than the last film. So, and also, this didn't show up in score, it didn't show up in editing, like, Wicked for Good is on its way down. And again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Name one sequel film, like name one sequel that's not The Godfather Part 3 that was considered significantly worse than the first film that still got into Best Picture. Name one. Name one. Like, yeah, everyone has, like, even with Lord of the Rings, everyone has their own, like, personal favorite, but they're kind of on par with one another in terms, like, critically, when you look at the reviews and stuff. So, yeah, I don't really know what's going on there. So, yeah. Then we got outside of, so, yeah. So, why do I think Wicked for Good is still getting into Best Picture here at the Critics' Choice Awards? Well, for the same reasons why, like, Babylon got in, why Unbroken got in. Like, these are films that, like, were just releasing, and the critics were able to see those movies just in time for voting, so they didn't really know that the movies were going to be badly reviewed in a way. And same thing, you know, with how Wish got into Best Picture. No, not Wish. Wish got into Best Best Animated Feature. God, I can't speak today. But Wish got nominated for Best Animated Feature, even though it was one of the worst reviewed Disney films in a very long time. But again, they had just recently seen it. It's almost like they kind of didn't know that they were supposed to not vote for it. So that's kind of where I feel like Wicked for Good is right now, because it's just, again, it's not as well received as the first film, and but they had just. But then again, it's been a couple of weeks. Honestly, it has been a couple of weeks. So again, I'm not sure where things stand for Wicked, but we'll have to see. Other options. It was just an accident. Like, I do think this is locked in for the Oscar, but for the Critics' Choice Awards, again, it's already risky of me to try to predict 2 international films. 3 might be too much, but I'm going with No Other Choice above. It was just an accident because I feel like No Other Choice, well, again, No Other Choice did so well in the shortlists, but also with it was just an accident. It's like, I don't know. I feel like that's going to do well overall, but in terms of the actual the Critics' Choice Awards, I'm just not sure. Again, it is. I hope it gets in. I hope it's a great film. I think it's one of the best films of the year. But again, with Critics' Choice, you never know. Begonia is also a choice that could happen. Again, I've also seen Begonia. Begonia is incredible. I love Begonia. So I think there is a solid chance of this happening. I mean, it's already going to get nominated for like, what is it? I think it's going to get nominated for lead actress for Emma Stone, adapted screenplay, young actor. I mean, so it is like it does have the package. I mean, we saw what was that movie called? We saw Saltburn get in with like what was that? Only cinematography and production design or something. Like that film did not have a large like case like that film did not have a large haul at all. But still. Number 13, I have The Testament of Anne Lee. This is a film I feel like could happen. I do have it predicted for the Oscar, but I think my assumption here is it's probably not going to be very popular amongst Critics' Choice and guilds. This is going to need support from like the Golden Globes and the BAFTAs for it to get into Best Picture, which I'm expecting, but I don't know if it quite cracks Critics' Choice. It might not be their thing. Number 14 is Train Dreams. This sounds like a critic's pick, honestly. Like Train Dreams actually does sound like a critic film that they would nominate. Like, so if they wanted to swap out Wicked and put in Train Dreams, that's definitely a possibility. Number 15, I just have Blue Moon because I feel like that just makes sense to round out for like a top 15, but I don't see that happening. F1, I expect that for like PGA, but Critics' Choice, I don't know if Critics' Choice would go for F1. Wake Up Dead Man, it seems like now that it's out, it definitely seems like people care less and less about these movies as they go on. So, probably not going to get nominated. And plus, it doesn't have the strong marketing campaign that Glass Onion did. So, The Secret Agent I have at number 18. Again, in my Best Picture predictions at the Oscars, this is definitely higher up on the list. But however, Critics' Choice, again, like I'm already asking a lot for 2 international films. Is this thing on in Nuremberg? Probably not, but we'll have to see. Then we get to Best Director. And I honestly feel like the top 5 is very easy to call. Paul Thomas Anderson at number 1. Number 2, Ryan Coogler, Chloe Zhao. Number 3. Number 4 is Guillermo del Toro. And number 5 is Josh Safdie. I feel like this is a very I don't think Coogler and Del Toro are going to make it to the Oscars, but however, the Critics' Choice they will nominate the big budget genre films. They will do that. And speaking of big budget genre, I think they might still do James Cameron for Avatar: Fire and Ash. I mean, now granted, I have 6 nominees here, but as we saw last year, didn't they have 7 or 8? Yep, they had 8 nominees that year. They had 8 nominees. So, my top 6 is this, but, if they wanted to do 8, maybe they could do Park Chan-wook and Noah Baumbach. I certainly don't think John M. Chu's coming back for director this time. Again, looking back to the Astra Awards. The Astra Awards last year, they glazed the ever-loving hell out of Wicked. They gave it Best Picture, Best Director, Best Lead Actress, Best Supporting Actress. They absolutely loved Wicked. Yet, this year, they did not nominate Wicked for Adapted Screenplay or Best Director. That was crazy. So I think if even they didn't do it, I don't think Critics' Choice is gonna do it. I think this is where we start to see the cracks in Wicked for Good. What are some other options? Well, there's like Mona Fastvold for The Testament of Anne Lee. Wait, I just realized. Wait, did I put in Noah Baumbach for It Was Just an Accident? Oh my god. Okay. There's a bit of a problem here. Hold on. Okay, fixed it. Okay, so yeah, Noah Baumbach I have at number 8, and then Jafar Panahi I have at number 9. I just feel like, so yeah. But again, that like, so I guess if they do go for 8, that like, yeah, it would stop at Noah Baumbach. But then again, at this point, I don't know how many nominees they're gonna have at the Critics' Choice Awards for director. It's so weird. Just lock it down to a specific number. Why is it gotta fluctuate so much? Anyways, so yeah, Mona Fastvold, I think she'd be in contention for the directing Oscar nomination, but I don't think she's going to get it, especially not here. Bradley Cooper for Is This Thing On, Richard Linklater for Blue Moon, and Kleber Mendoza Filho for The Secret Agent. I think no, probably no. Then we get to original screenplay. And this is where I break apart from my predictions a bit at the Oscars. I think regardless of whether or not Sinners or It Was Just an Accident takes the Oscar for Best International, for Best Original Screenplay, I feel like Sinners is just more likely to win Critics' Choice, which is great. And again, even hearing from the pundits, they're saying that, Sinners is still probably more likely to win than Marty Supreme, so, But still, Marty Supreme I have at number 2. Sentimental Value I think will just be fine at number 3. Jay Kelly at oh my god, I just realized something. Kill me. Never mind. Okay. I thought I confused It Was Just an Accident and Jay Kelly again. I don't know why I was doing that. Okay, but still, Jay Kelly at number 4. I think it's a very, decent call for Critics' Choice. Again, we'll see what happens at the Oscars, but over here, they'll probably do that. It Was Just an Accident I have at number 5, which is a bit of a risk because even Anatomy of a Fall didn't make original screenplay here, but this year is looking to be less competitive than that year. So this is kind of where I'm kind of feeling things are going right now. I don't know. Blue Moon I have at number 6. It feels like a good call to make. So I don't know. And outside of that, I don't know. Because again, look at these other options. Is This Thing On? I have at number 7. It doesn't really feel like it's going to go anywhere. The Testament of Anne Lee, I actually do have in for the Oscar nomination, but I don't feel like Critics' Choice is going to like the film that much. A House of Dynamite at number 9, Weapons at number 10. Again, I'm not believing in Weapons. Sorry, Internet. Sorry, Baby at number 11. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You at number 12. Rental Family at 13. Secret Agent at 14. And Materialists at 15. I don't think Rental Family is really going anywhere, although it did get original screenplay at the Astras, so that was pretty good. But also Saturday Night, I think, also got original screenplay, and that didn't really go anywhere. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Adapted screenplay. No matter, again, I do feel like we're going to have a different winner at the Oscars for adapted screenplay. I do feel like, because I've said this before, but the last time there was a film that swept picture, director, and screenplay flawlessly in the precursors, like Golden Globe, Critics' Choice, BAFTA, and the Guilds, the only film to do that the last film to do that was Slumdog Millionaire. Everything else had some sort of a bump. And yes, at the Oscars, we've seen a few times recently where films win picture, director, and screenplay, but like Honora or Everything Everywhere All at Once or Parasite or The King's Speech. But you got to understand, those are films that had like a bumpy road to Best Picture somewhat. They had a bumpy road. It wasn't really a clean path. But whenever there is a clean path, like Oppenheimer, Oppenheimer winning director and winning picture and director, or The Power of the Dog winning picture and director everywhere. Again, it missed the Oscar for Best Picture, but in the precursors, it was still winning picture and director. Or Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, winning picture and director, and Guillermo del Toro, picture and director for The Shape of Water. These were not really winning a lot of screenplay awards. Now, some of them did, and I'll get to that here in a bit. But it does feel like whenever either picture or screenplay is locked up tight, someone else someone else ends up winning director. Or at the very least, when it comes to director, especially director, when you're pretty much locked up, guaranteed to win director before the season's even started, and you're just sweeping the precursors, eventually someone else takes screenplay. And I expect that to happen for One Battle After Another. But, however, at the Critics' Choice Awards, I don't think that will be exactly the case. I don't think that's going to be exactly the case. Because the Critics' Choice Awards will give picture, screenplay, and director all the time. They even did that with Power of the Dog and Nomadland. So regardless of what happens at the Oscars, I do feel like One Battle After Another will win screenplay here. Then at number 2, we have Hamnet. That's a pretty good call to make. Frankenstein at number 3. Begonia at number 4. Train Dreams at number 5. I probably should have No Other Choice a little bit higher, considering I actually have it in Best Picture over Train Dreams and Begonia. But I don't know. We'll have to see. But I do think No Other Choice could still get in. There are some other options like Wake Up Dead Man and Knives Out Mystery. So yeah, I like that the first 2 Knives Out got in, but there is just an overwhelming feeling that this one doesn't really people don't really care about this one as much. So there is that to consider. Adapted. Let's see. Number 8, I have Wicked for Good. Again, maybe. Actually, well, no. Again, if even the Astra Awards couldn't do it, then the Critics' Choice Awards aren't going to do it either. Smashing Machine, Life of Chuck, Avatar. Again, I don't think these are happening, so yeah. Then we get to Lead Actress. Again, Jessie Buckley is going to sweep. It's not even going to be close. Then we get to the others, and honestly, I actually do have trouble figuring out what could possibly get in that's not the top 5. Because I still have, again, number 1, Jessie Buckley. Number 2, Amanda Seyfried. Number 3, Emma Stone for Begonia. Number 4, Chase Infinity for One Battle After Another. And number 5, Renate Reinsve for Sentimental Value. The lead actress race is just so not great this year to where it's I'd be genuinely shocked if this wasn't the top 5 just kind of rolling into the Oscars. And then Cynthia Erivo at number 6. I don't think she gets the Oscar nomination. At this point, I don't even think she gets SAG. Neither do I think Ariana Grande is getting SAG. But, again, because this was kind of recent voting, they're probably a little bit wicked-pilled. Maybe not as wicked-pilled as before, but I think these 2 could still get in. But then number 7, we have Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Number 8, Eva Victor for Sorry Baby. These sound like critics' picks, but again, I just don't think they can tackle the top 5. If they were able to take down Cynthia Erivo, then I think that would be very damning for the film. That'd be very damning for the film. Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue. I just don't think the critics would do that. Golden Globes, maybe. SAG, sure. The critics, no, I don't see that. Jennifer Lawrence for Die My Love, Julie Roberts for After the Hunt, and Tessa Thompson for Hedda. I just don't think so. Let's see, lead actor. Top 2 right now, easily Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme and Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another. Again, we'll see what happens later on. I do still kind of wonder if Leo can sort of take frontrunner status away from Timothée Chalamet. But right now, I'll still say Timothée Chalamet is number 1. Number 3, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners. I do have my worries if he can actually get the Oscar nomination. But, however, the Critics' Choice Awards is going to be a Sinners party. You know, sort of like how, like, a couple years ago, the Critics' Choice Awards gave Barbie a whole big party where they gave it the most nominations out of any film ever. Sinners, I feel like it's going to be that kind of film. Number 4, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon. I feel like this is a pretty decent call to make. Dwayne Johnson for The Smashing Machine at number 5. I know people are going to go, wait, Dwayne Johnson, why? But it's like, look, you want to say you can have Dwayne Johnson at the award show? Well, here's how you do it. And then number 6, George Clooney for Jay Kelly. Now, why am I doing this? Why do I have Dwayne Johnson in? Well, again, he's big and popular. His performance received general and good enough praise, but I think the other thing is look at the competition. It's like Joel Edgerton for Train Dreams. He could happen, but I don't know. Wagner Moura, I do think is getting in for the Oscar. I don't think there's any doubt about that, but again, the Critics' Choice Awards, they don't really nominate a whole lot of international performances, especially those not in Best Picture. So even though I think Wagner Moura is practically kind of locked in for the Oscar nomination, I don't think he gets in at Critics' Choice. Daniel Day-Lewis for Anemone. I think this would be more like a Golden Globe or BAFTA thing to happen, but the Critics' Choice Awards, no. If he did get in here, that would be big. Jeremy Allen White for Deliver Me From Nowhere. I don't think they're going to care about this film. Number 11, again, another person I have in the Oscar predictions, but not here, is Lee Byung-hun for No Other Choice. Again, the international performances tend to struggle a bit here, so, I don't know. Number 12, Jesse Plemons for Begonia. Honestly, he could happen. It really just depends on how big Begonia actually is here. Oscar Isaac at number 13 for Frankenstein. 14, I have Brendan Fraser for Rental Family. Number 15, Will Arnett for Is This Thing On? I don't know if that actually happens, but we will see. Supporting actress. Okay. And this is where people are going to go, oh, finally, Christian. Oh, my God. But we'll get to that here in a bit. Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another is at number 1. Because, I just feel like One Battle After Another is going to be just strong overall. And Tiana Taylor, it feels like everyone's just kind of going in with, she could probably win for this. Number 2, Elle Fanning for Sentimental Value. And so, yeah, those are the ones I feel the most confident about. Those are the 2 locks. But then at number 3, I have Gwyneth Paltrow for Marty Supreme. I can't shake but still wonder if there is a chance that Odessa A. Zion might actually be stronger at the Oscars than Gwyneth Paltrow. Sort of like how Monica Barbaro was stronger than Elle Fanning for A Complete Unknown. We'll see. But I do have her in. Ariana Grande for Wicked for Good. I feel like she's going to show up here. Now, if Wicked does not get into Best Picture, but I think for the Critics' Choice Awards, if Wicked for Good is not in Best Picture, they'll nominate her. Wunmi Masaku for Sinners. I have a feeling she could show up at Critics' Choice, especially if they want to throw a big, Sinners party. And then, yes, I will put Amy Madigan at number 6 for Weapons. I don't think this happens at the Oscars. I genuinely don't think so. And I'm not trying to hate on the movie. I'm not trying to hate on the performance, but this is just not an Oscars thing to do. But the Critics' Choice Awards, they will go for stuff like this sometimes. They will go for like a Toni Collette in Hereditary. Now, I think this might be the only precursor she gets. I don't think she gets in anywhere else. But the Critics' Choice Awards, they probably would do something like this. But another thing that could happen is Regina Hall for One Battle After Another. Oh boy, again, if they really want to go out for this film, they could nominate her. I mean, my God, that would be insane. But then also at the same time, you also have the Sinners Party where you have Haley Steinfeld. She could get in. So there's that. Inga Ibsdottir Lilius, I think, is locked in for the Oscar, but I don't know if she gets into Critics' Choice. If she does get into Critics' Choice, there's absolutely nothing stopping her from getting a nomination. But still. Number 10, Emily Blunt for The Smashing Machine. I could see a world where she gets in everywhere, but not the Oscar, because the film is just not that big, but again, we'll see. Number 11, Laura Dern for Jay Kelly. Even the Jay Kelly defenders don't talk about Laura Dern that much, so I don't know. Odessa A. Zion for Marty Supreme. Maybe. We'll have to see about that. Glenn Close for Wake Up Dead Man. I mean, Janelle Monáe got nominated here, but again, Wake Up Dead Man seems to be less of a priority for Netflix right now. And then Jennifer Lopez for Kiss of the Spider Woman. I don't think she happens here. I don't think so. I think she might just miss out because the film just doesn't really exist enough. But we'll see. We'll see. And then supporting actor. This is also one where it's like kind of hard to figure out what's going to happen because of who would win. But right now I'm thinking Sean Penn for One Battle After Another. Everyone seems to say that, yeah, he's the best performance in the movie. He's in a lot of the movie. He's a big villain. So I do feel like he could win here. Paul Mescal for Hamnet. He's just also locked in for a nomination. At this point, Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another is like a staple of that film. Like I genuinely think he's going to be like Barry Keoghan. Not to say that he would be number 2 to win eventually, but like he's like the person that kind of unexpectedly comes along for the ride. Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value, I have at number 4. Some people are saying he could win. Again, I don't know, but especially here, I don't know if he would win here, but we'll see. Number 5, Adam Sandler for Jay Kelly. Like, if they're going to nominate Jay Kelly for Best Picture, they're going to nominate Adam Sandler. And then number 6, I have Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein. Again, I don't think this is going to happen at the Oscars. I don't think they nominate Jacob Elordi, but again, this is something Critics' Choice would probably do. So there we go. And then we got the Sinners guys. We have Miles Caton and Delroy Lindo. They are on the cusp. I want to put one of them in, but this category already seems so stacked. Now, granted, this is also 5. Like this also technically goes 5 out of 5 of what I'm currently predicting for the Oscar. So this is probably not going to happen. But I don't know who to take out. Especially because again, if you're going to nominate Jay Kelly for Best Picture, you're going to nominate Adam Sandler. So, Number 9. Number 9 and beyond is where is stuff that I just don't think is really happening. Jonathan Bailey for Wicked for Good. Number 10, Andrew Scott for Blue Moon. What was it? Bradley Cooper at number 11 for Is This Thing On? Jacoby Jupe for Hamnet. Lewis Pullman at number 13 for The Testament of Anne Lee. And number 14, William H. Macy for Train Dreams. Again, I don't think this happens, but I don't know. Honestly, I'm really only kind of considering the top 8 at this point. The top 8's where I'm really kind of looking at. Best Young Actor or Actress. This is going to be interesting. I'm still going to say Miles Caton wins for Sinners. I think he's currently 20, so he'd probably be around, or I don't know if he's 20 or 18 or whatever, but it's like he must have been younger when he was filming this. Jacoby Jupe at number 2, I think is a good call to make. Aidan Delbus for Begonia. Apparently, he just came out of high school for this film. So, I think, and given the performance he's given, it's like, yeah, he's so in. Alfie Williams for 28 Years Later. And I feel, yeah. And then we got Mason Thames for How to Train Your Dragon. I mean, the fact that Mason Thames is everywhere this year, the fact that he had 3 films at number 1 in the box office, I feel like he has to get in. So, yeah. And then, I think maybe the 6th slot would be Maya Kealoha for Lilo and Stitch. I mean, regardless of what you think of the movie, she's the best part of the film, and everyone's saying, oh my god, she embodies Lilo, and she's adorable. So I feel like she'd be a good call to make. And yeah, sure, Lilo and Stitch is not anywhere near Best Picture, but I feel like sometimes you don't really need that. Like Alicia Weir got in for Abigail, the little girl vampire movie, or the girl from The Creator, she was able to get in. So yeah. And again, this also depends on how many nominees they decide to throw into this. So yeah. Outside of that, we have Helena Zengel for The Legend of Ochi. Again, she makes sense as well. I'm just not completely sure. Hold on a second. Nina Yi for Left-Handed Girl. Again, I feel like she could pop off. I mean, also, there is also the thing to consider where Left-Handed Girl just premiered on Netflix, and people are seeing it, people are loving it, and also, guess who co-wrote it, guess who co-produced it, and guess who edited it? It's none other than the critics' favorite, Sean Baker. There is a chance that they could glaze the film a little bit, but Nina Yi, I feel like she would be she'd be a fair pick for Young Actor or Actress at the Critics' Choice Awards. Then there's The Life of Chuck Boys, Jacob Tremblay, which God, he's already nearing adulthood. God damn, I feel old. I feel like he could get in, but there's also Benjamin Pajak for Life of Chuck, so. Who knows? Shannon Mahina Gorman for Rental Family. Again, that's a good possibility as well. Carrie Christopher for Weapons, maybe. Nico Parker for How to Train Your Dragon, and then Christian Convery for Frankenstein. Again, he could happen too. Hey, my name is Christian. His name is Christian. Huh? We have the same name. Huh? But yeah. I do feel pretty good about this top 6. Especially the top 3. I would be shocked if any of these 3 missed out. Casting and ensemble. Now, I don't really know how to go about this category because they're doing casting and ensemble in the same category, so I don't know how this is going to work out. So I'm just going to wing it, all right? One battle after another, I think that wins. Sinners at number 2, Marty Supreme at number 3, seems like a fair bet to make. Jay Kelly, there is a big cast, and there's also the whole thing of casting, George Clooney and Adam Sandler in these roles. It's like, yeah. Wicked for Good, I think they could probably do that here, so probably. And then we have Frankenstein. Yeah, I think, yeah, just to make sure, I think Frankenstein was shortlisted for casting. Wait, they did, I completely forgot. They did not shortlist Frankenstein for casting an ensemble. Oh, I feel like an idiot. What? Wait, what? Oh, no. Okay, I fixed it. Okay. So, yeah, I put Hamnet at number 6. Yeah, whatever. I don't know what. It was just so weird because I just assumed Frankenstein was just in the shortlist. Now, again, there is the option to write in Frankenstein. But, again, if it's not Avatar, it's like, well, the critics have already seen the film. So, I don't know how much writing in is going to really help some of the other films. But, yeah. Begonia has a pretty good ensemble. There was also the casting of Aidan Delbus, which I feel like was very, very good. So maybe Rental Family, again, Saturday Night did make this category at the Critics' Choice Awards last year. So maybe Rental Family could still get in here. Let's see. Northern Choice at number 9. The Long Walk. The fact that it made the shortlist, I think that bodes well for my Oscar prediction for casting. But I don't know if it happens here. If it does happen here, lock it in, baby. Lock it in. But yeah. Number 11, The House of Dynamite, and number 12, The Plague. So again, yeah. I don't even know that much about The Plague. I'm just like, wow, it made a few shortlists. Huh. Then we have Best Comedy. I don't really know what to do here because I want to put more Best Picture films in, but they don't usually do that a whole lot. They only have like a couple of Best Picture films in the comedy category, and usually like the winner of the comedy category isn't even, it usually isn't even the film that wins Best Picture. So yeah, I have One Battle After Another winning Best Comedy, but do I think that's actually going to happen? I have no idea. But One Battle After Another, I feel like that's gonna, at least I have the most confidence in that. Wake Up Dead Man at number 2. The Naked Gun, I feel like would show up here for Best Comedy. It was like one of the most high-profile comedies of the year, so I'd be shocked if that didn't get in. Jay Kelly is, maybe they consider it a comedy, but I don't know. It's because they go more laugh out loud comedy here than at the Golden Globes, where the Golden Globes, they'll nominate movies that are kind of dramas but have comedy in them, whereas the Critics' Choice Awards for Best Comedy, they go for the more big laughs. So I don't know. Friendship at number 5 and Roofman at number 6. I'm only putting Roofman in because I think it made a couple of shortlists, so it's on their radar. But again, I just don't know. It's just, this category is so weird. And that's, why at number 7, I have Twinless. Number 8, No Other Choice. Number 9, Begonia. Number 10, Marty Supreme. Again, it's weird to have No Other Choice, Begonia, and Marty Supreme out, but the Critics' Choice Award comedy category is so weird. Number 11, Rental Family. Number 12, Freakier Friday. Number 13, Splitsville. Number 14, The Phoenician Scheme. And number 15, One of Them Days. Again, I don't know. I don't know what to do about this category. It's so weird. So yeah. Then we get to foreign language film, best foreign language film. I feel like, again, the top 4 seal it up. It's easy. Sentimental Value at number, okay, these 3, it's actually, regardless of what happens at the Oscars, I do feel like at the Critics' Choice Awards, they're going to go with sentimental value for the win. But let's see. Number 1, sentimental value. Number 2, no other choice. Number 3, it was just an accident. And I do feel like The Secret Agent's number 4. I mean, the fact that Wagner Moore is in the conversation for best lead actor, you have to put Secret Agent in for best, like for the international categories. Then we have Left-Handed Girl at number 5. I do have this film in, and again, because of the whole not again, people are loving it. And Sean Baker's attached. I feel like this had a pretty good shot of getting in. And then number 6, I have Sarat. This is a big favorite, like, or at least like it's one of the more high profile films, and I know that doesn't mean I have The Voice of Hind Rajab out, but I don't know. The Voice of Hind Rajab I don't think made any shortlists, whereas even Sarat got in the shortlists for sound and score. Like, that was pretty big. So I do feel like because of the visibility Sarat is in. But yeah, number 8, I have Sound of Falling. Number 9, Nouvelle Vague. Number 10, Berlin, which did get the Astra nomination, so that's something we'll consider. Number 11, The President's Cake, and number 12, 2,000 Meters to Andrivka. But I do feel like it's mostly between the top 7 or so. Yeah, like I would be a little bit surprised if it wasn't just this top 6 at Critics' Choice. Then we get to animated feature. No matter what happens, oh my god. Anyways, fix that. No matter what happens at the Oscars, all right? No matter what happens at the Oscars, the Critics' Choice Awards are going to go with K-pop Demon Hunters. Like, especially this decade, like, the Critics' Choice Awards have split from the Oscars pretty much every time except for Pinocchio and Soul. Because, like, for the Encanto year, the Critics' Choice Awards went with The Mitchells vs. the Machines. For the Boy and the Heron year, the Critics' Choice Awards went for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And then last year, despite the fact that Flow won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature, it actually went to The Wild Robot at Critics' Choice. So this is completely irrelevant to what my Oscar predictions are for the win. And oh my god, I still forgot something. Oh my god, fixed it. So, But yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters is winning. Zootopia 2, I think it's a good number 2. Number 3, Arco. Number 4, Elio. Number 5, Little Amelie, or the character of Rain. Again, like, this year is not looking great for animated feature, so if somehow this top 5 misses, I can't maybe the top 6, I should say. If it's not something within this top 6, I would be shocked, because everything else is just like, no. Neja 2, that's not even eligible for the Oscar. Bad Guys 2, no one cares about that. Scarlet, no one cares about that. Demon Slayer movie, like whatever that movie's called, it did very well at the box office, but I feel like only Demon Slayer fans actually care about that movie. So yeah, it has to be the 6. It just if it's not, like, what else? What else? But yeah, cinematography, Sinners, I have a number 1 right now, although One Battle After Another is definitely a threat to win. We'll see what happens. But then there's also Frankenstein. Some people are saying, one thing I've noticed, that there's actually some people, like initially there were people, like, saying, oh, the cinematography in Frankenstein looks bad, but a lot of, like, pundits recently have been saying, actually, no, the cinematography in Frankenstein's pretty lit. So it's like, I'm kind of wondering if that could maybe be a contender. I mean, it's going to win 3 other categories anyway. It's like, you might as well throw in cinematography if you really wanted to. But then there's Hamnet at number 4. I think that's pretty safe. And then the last 2 slots, I don't want to go 5 out of 5 with Best Picture. So what I'm doing is I have Marty Supreme at number 5 and F1 the movie at number 6. Again, I definitely don't think F1 the movie is happening at the Oscars, but at the Critics' Choice Awards, They could do that. So I'm keeping an eye out for that. But then there's Train Dreams, which, again, people have been very much praising the cinematography in Train Dreams. And if it wanted to get into Best Picture, this would be a nice one to have in. It's just, do I want to go 5 out of 5 with what I think is happening at the Oscars? I don't think so. But, I don't know. Number 8, Avatar, Fire and Ash. The second film did get nominated for cinematography here, but I'm not sure how much that love is going to be supported. We'll have to see. Number 9, No Other Choice. Number 10, Jay Kelly. Number 11, Nouvelle Vague. Number 12, The Plague. And number 13, 28 years later. And again, you're probably wondering why the plague and 28 years later. Well, now that we're in the now that we're in the tech categories, this is where we're getting into the shortlisted categories. Okay, so yeah, I would never consider the plague or 28 years later, but they're shortlisted, so I'm putting them on here. We'll have to see. And again, the only additions I'm making to these shortlisted categories, which are 12 films, the only additions I will make to them would be Avatar, Fire and Ash, because again, that's the only film the critics hadn't really seen yet, by the time they are making the shortlists. Then we have film editing. All right. One Battle After Another, I feel like, again, it's probably just going to win this. But if the critics had the sauce, no other choice would be winning this. No other choice. Oh my god, if no other choice actually, like, here's the thing. If One Battle After Another even, won Best Picture or whatever, but no other choice won editing, oh, that means a lot to me. I'm like, ooh, it could actually happen. I hope no other choice takes editing. Sinners at number 3, that's a pretty, that'd be, very solid. Marty Supreme at number 4, number 5, Hamnet, it makes sense. Again, especially with Marty Supreme, with it being a sports film in Best Picture, those always get editing. And then number 6, again, I'm not going to consider this for the Oscars because it's just so not in Best Picture, but F1, the movie is like that can happen at Critics' Choice. I mean, God, even the Critics' Choice Awards gave Challengers the win for editing, and the Oscars didn't even nominate it. So, yeah, Number 7, and admittedly, this is very tough between the number 6 slot was very tough between F1 and Frankenstein, because with Frankenstein probably going to do as well as, probably the best it's ever going to do this award season at Critics' Choice. Frankenstein absolutely makes sense for editing, but I just don't know if it will. So I am but then there's F1, it's very showy, and I don't again, that is also something the Critics' Choice would also do. So I don't know. I don't know if I can really take out Hamnet for both Frankenstein and F1, but I have to make a call somewhere. And I feel like this is maybe this could be a thing. I don't know. House of Dynamite at number 8, sure. Number 9, it was just an accident. Apparently they're campaigning the editing, and it was just an accident really hard, which is pretty interesting. It's weird because even though I love it was just an accident, the editing didn't really stand out that much to me, because a lot of the scenes in the movie are done in one take. So it's like there's not a whole lot of editing going around, and a lot of the tension in the film is not really done through the editing. A lot of it is done through the acting and the directing and the cinematography, but editing, not really. But yeah, Avatar, Fire and Ash, I just want to kind of consider that. 11, I have Weapons. Number 12, The Perfect Neighbor is that's a whoa kind of shortlist mention. So I'm like, whoa, could that happen? I'm not sure if it will, but hey, keep an eye out for that. And then 13, Wake Up Dead Man. I don't think anyone cares about that. Oh yeah, there's also Weapons at number 11. So yeah. Production design. All right. Number 1, I think again, easy to call. If it's in Best Picture, Frankenstein is so easy to call. So yeah. Number 2, Wicked for Good. Yeah. Number 3, Sinners, makes sense to me. Number 4, Hamnet. Okay. And then we get to the last 2, and this is where you can play around a bit. I do think. Oh wait. I forgot. Wait. Huh. Okay. So I have Hamnet at number 4 in the list, but it's number 5. Okay, no. The list is more accurate here. Okay, the list is more accurate. I don't know why I don't know why I swapped Marty Supreme and Hamnet there, but it's yeah. Hamnet, I think, is more likely than Marty Supreme, although Marty Supreme could probably just still get it anyway because it's in Best Picture. The Critics' Choice Awards do like to glaze their Best Picture films a bit, so there is that. But yeah. Yeah. And then Avatar, Fire and Ash, again, this could be a category where it could still crawl its way into via the write-in option, because there's not a whole lot of other options. There is Fantastic Four First Steps. I hope that happens. I would love it if Fantastic Four happened. I am worried about One Battle After Another. The production design did not really stand out to me at all, but because it is looking to be a really, really huge contender, don't count it out entirely. That could just happen. F1 the movie, Hedda. Sentimental Value is a weird one. Sentimental Value getting production design, and then there's Roof Man. So yeah, admittedly, I'm only kind of really considering the top 8. We'll see what happens, but I don't know. I feel pretty good about this. This seems I'm not struggling too much. Costume design, all right. Frankenstein, I think, is a very easy call for number 1. Number 2, again, we have Wicked for Good. Number 3, we have Sinners. Number 4, Hamnet. Number 5, Marty Supreme, and number 6, Hedda. Now again, because it made the short list, I'm like, okay, maybe Hedda can get in. And plus, also, when you like, there's like they will sometimes go for like, you know, rando costume picks that don't really translate to the Oscars. Like what was that one film, like the one with Kaylee Spain? Oh, Priscilla. Priscilla. They did Priscilla. So like, I think they also did, like, I think the Critics' Choice also did Wonka. So they will go for like kind of out there picks, and maybe they'll probably do Hedda. But again, there's one battle after another. And again, I don't know why it would get costume design, but again, you can't entirely doubt a film that's this strong in Best Picture. You can't. Number 8, I have The Testament of Anne Lee. Maybe Kiss of the Spider Woman would also probably make sense, in the sense that like Hedda makes sense, but we'll have to see. Fantastic Four: First Steps. Again, that was a great mention in the costume design shortlist. I love that, although I don't think that's as likely as production design. Secret Agent and Song Sung Blue, I don't think they're happening, but they are on the shortlist, so it's worth mentioning. Hair and makeup. Okay. The top 4, I think, are just locked. Frankenstein, Wicked, Sinners, Smashing Machine. I'm a little bit worried about, I don't know about Sinners for the Oscar, we'll have to see, but at the Critics' Choice Awards, yes, they will do it. Smashing Machine, even if Dwayne Johnson missed, makeup has to happen. And I was a little bit surprised to see that One Battle After Another did not make the makeup shortlist, especially considering a character around the end of the film has a bit of makeup on and some prosthetics. And I was like, wow, the Critics' Choice didn't go for that? Huh. So I think with that, they'll probably do Hedda. They're not as into prosthetics as the Oscars are. And then weapons could probably round out the list of 6. Makes sense. Or they could do Kiss of the Spider Woman, which I have at number 7. They could do that as well. 28 Years Later, I don't know if that would get into the Critics' Choice Awards. Begonia, it does not make sense to me. Again, I love Begonia, but the most makeup you see is just like some cream on someone's face. Like, people are applying cream to their faces, and it's just like, that's not really enough, but I don't know. Number 10 is The Ugly Stepsister. I remember this was like in my early calls, like in my early predictions for makeup, I put in The Ugly Stepsister, which, I mean, we'll see what happens, but yeah. Superman at number 11, I would like it if it got in, especially with the whole Metamorpho thing going on, but I don't know. They didn't even nominate Guardians 3 or 2, so, And then Kokuho, again, I'm not even sure where the makeup is in that film, but we'll see. Visual effects. This is tough, because this is absolutely the category where they will glaze Best Picture films. They will just glaze Best Picture films here. They gave Black Panther Best Visual Effects. They gave Oppenheimer Best Visual Effects. Like, the Critics' Choice Awards do not care about the quality or innovativeness of the visual effects. It's just a big Best Picture glaze fest. So, what do we do? So what do we do here? I'm gonna have Avatar winning. It didn't make the short list. But because again, it didn't, it wasn't released yet. But I cannot fathom a world where, like, you just vote for your ballot without having seen Avatar, and just choose to just completely ignore Avatar for visual effects. It's like, no, you at least, at bare minimum, gotta put Avatar in for visual effects. You have to, man. It would be absolutely insane if it didn't make it here. So there's that. And if it somehow did not get in, which would be like, just what? If they just completely blank on Avatar, like, at Critics' Choice altogether, I maybe Wicked wins visual effects, but that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. or at the very least, okay, it would make sense in absence of Avatar, but like the situation itself would just not make sense. Superman, I have a good number 3. It seems to be doing, it did pretty well in the shortlists for all things considered. I don't think it gets into the Oscars, but Frankenstein, again, because it's a Best Picture film and it's going to be in every tech imaginable, it's going to get visual effects. I think, for, at least at the Critics' Choice Awards, Frankenstein's getting visual effects. The Critics' Choice Awards will probably nominate F1 the movie. Again, makes sense for the Critics' Choice at least. And then there's Fantastic Four: First Steps. One thing I've also kind of noticed is that a good barometer for the visual effects category when predicting the when predicting for Critics' Choice visual effects is look at what the critics are predicting for the Oscars in visual effects, because weirdly that gives you a little bit of an insight. Like I remember like well what was it? Like I don't think got like oh yeah, like Nightmare Alley was showing up in predictions for visual effects left and right. It's like, and I was like, what? And then ultimately they nominated Nightmare Alley for visual effects. Now, do I think that happens at the Oscars? Absolutely not. Well, and it didn't happen at the Oscars. But it is kind of weird how like they will kind of look into the like how much like the what's the word I'm looking for? Like how much like the predictions for visual effects at the Oscars on Gold Derby will match up with the actual nominations for Critics' Choice visual effects. And somehow Fantastic Four is as low as it is. It's weird. I think it's looking pretty good for the Oscar nomination. I don't see anything wrong with nominating this for visual effects. The effects are very good. There's a lot of visual effects going on. There's a lot of space visual effects going on. I don't really see the issue here, although I am a little bit worried. I shouldn't be. It's just weird, but it's like, I don't know. But again, Fantastic Four did make a few shortlists, so I don't know, maybe. And then at number 7, Sinners rears its head. This would not make any sense for a visual effects nomination for me. And yes, I know there are visual effects in the film, but let's face it, if this were to get into visual effects, it would not be because of like any kind of groundbreaking, innovative visual effects. It would be because it is squarely in Best Picture, and that's all the Critics' Choice care about. Again, this is Oppenheimer in visual effects all over again, or Black Panther in visual effects. Sinners, I just don't know. I like it could, and also The Substance. The Substance was also a film that got into the visual effects at Critics' Choice purely because of the strength of the film itself. But I don't know. Is it too minimal? I have no idea. Number 8, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Now this is interesting because both Dead Reckoning and Fallout got nominated for visual effects, so it seems to reason like it would be smart to predict Mission Impossible for visual effects. But again, I just don't know what to take out. I mean, it'll be weird to take out Fantastic Four. And usually, like, they will, but the problem is, I think usually whenever the Critics' Choice Awards nominates a film for a Marvel movie for Best Visual Effects, it usually repeats at the Oscars. So, I don't know. Let's see, Mickey 17. Yeah, I actually do think Mickey 17 has a good case to make for an Oscar nomination for visual effects, but will that happen at the Critics' Choice Awards? I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to see. Tron Ares. Tron Ares is interesting. It did make a few shortlists, which is pretty impressive. Even score. It managed to get a score shortlist mention. But, however, I don't know. It seems like no one really cared about Tron Ares. So, probably not. Predator Badlands, How to Train Your Dragon, Sketch. I don't think those are happening. So, yeah. Then we get to Stunt Design, a new category at the Critics' Choice Awards. All right? Now, this is interesting. How do we go about this? I'm just going to, I was kind of wondering if it was going to be F1 or One Battle After Another. And these both have... What the hell? But anyways, F1 the movie, I don't know. I feel like F1 the movie could still probably take this. Again, I don't know how to go about this. It's just kind of weird. But again, One Battle After Another is right there as well, so maybe they could do that as well. But then there's also Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Maybe they want to honor the stunts in Mission Impossible. Like, this is going to be the last Mission Impossible movie, so maybe they do that? I don't know. Let's see, Frankenstein. At number 4, again, it has some stunts. It's big enough in Best Picture. Maybe that could happen. Sinners has like a big action sequence at the end, and then the last slot. I'm not sure what to do here, because I don't know. I could do Superman. Wicked. I'm not sure if even the Critics' Choice would go for that, but I'm not even sure. There is Avatar. But I'm gonna go with Ballerina at number 6 because it's kind of part of the John Wick universe, and maybe they'll go, hey, we could sort of nominate a John Wick movie for best stunt design, considering John Wick was like one of the films that kind of caused this whole thing to happen. So maybe they just do. Maybe this will be like almost like a concession prize for the John Wick franchise as a whole. But yeah. Number 10, I think the Smashing Machine would actually be a pretty based pick for stunt design, because, and I know it's weird, like, wait, stunts, why the Smashing Machine? But you have to keep in mind how little clothing these guys are wearing, and they're having to do all these crazy, like these crazy physical acts of acting violence, like. That's pretty hard to do, and so I kind of do hope the Smashing Machine gets in for stunts, but still. Thunderbolts, Predator Badlands, Warfare, maybe, but I don't know. Once again, I do feel pretty good about the top 6. Sound. Okay, this is where things get interesting. Okay. Let's see. F1, again, I think could win sound here. A lot of the critics are saying that it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think it wins the Oscar, but because of how many, like, pundits are predicting F1 to win sound, I feel like F1 could probably win the Critics' Choice Award for sound. But One Battle After Another, again, I feel like that wins the Oscar, and it's number 2 for me. Sinners at number 3, that's going to get nominated. Wicked for Good, I think that's going to get nominated for sound here. Frankenstein at number 5. I don't think this gets the Oscar nomination, but however, it's still a pretty, like, for Critics' Choice, this makes sense. And Avatar, Fire and Ash, I feel like this could also be a category where it is saved by the write-in ballots. But then again, there's also other contenders like Warfare. People are really buzzing about the sound in Warfare. That could happen. House of Dynamite, maybe, but also no one really cares about the film. But at the same time, it did make a lot of shortlists, so can't count it out entirely. Superman at number 9. If it managed to get sound here, that would be like, whoa, okay. Hamnet at number 10, Surratt at number 11. That was a pretty unique choice to see on the short list. The Lost Bus at number 12, and If I Had Legs I'd Kick You at number 13. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's honestly pretty between like the top 7 right now because Warfare could slip in. Warfare could definitely get in. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm headed right now. Then we get to original score. And again, this is going to be the real test. Can Sinners actually win score? This race is purely between One Battle After Another and Sinners, and I really hope Sinners is the one to do it. I really hope it is the one to do it. But again, I'm a little bit scared. But One Battle After Another is clearly number 2. Number 3, Hamnet. I don't see any reason to doubt it. So yeah. Frankenstein is easily going to get in. I mean, if even Nightmare Alley got in for score at the Critics' Choice Awards, then Frankenstein's going to as well. Marty Supreme, and then honestly, F1 could probably get into score, because I don't want to go fully in with what I have in for Best Picture. So, yeah. But then again, I forgot, the Testament of Ann Lee didn't get shortlisted here, so, and I am predicting the Testament of Ann Lee for score at the Oscars, if it actually does end up being eligible, so, I don't know, I guess I still would go 4 out of 5. Begonia at number 7. The score is really big, really loud, and if they want to go really big for Begonia, which that is a possibility, and I would even say a plausibility, I would say Begonia would be that would be a film that could slip in. House of Dynamite, maybe not, because also the biggest criticism people have towards the film is that the score sounds way too much like Conclave. So maybe that could hurt it. Tron Ares. Again, not impossible for score. I mean, I was pretty surprised to see it in the shortlist. So it's not really too impossible that it would really get into the Oscars. Hedda, Seurat, The Plague, probably not. But again, it is worth mentioning because they are shortlisted. And then the final category we're going to be talking about today is Best Original Song. All right. And I feel like this is going to be this isn't going to be exactly what I feel like the Oscars are going to do. If anything, I feel like this is actually 2 out of 5 with what I have with the Oscars, but you'll see. I lied to you. I just still feel like is the song winner. That is the song winner of the year. It's attached to the biggest, most impactful scene of Sinners, and it's like one of the best films of the year. And that a lot of it has to do with the song and the way the music is around that scene. I just feel like that's just a good I don't know why that wouldn't win Best Original Song. Golden, I have my concerns as to whether or not it can get nominated for the Oscar, especially considering even at the Critics' Choice Awards where I thought they were going to love K-Pop Demon Hunters, like putting it into sound and score. This was the only shortlist K-Pop Demon Hunters made. And this is the same organization that gave The Wild Robot Best Score and Best Song, Spider-Verse Best Score and Best Visual Effects, and Pinocchio Best Score and Best Original Song. And the fact that K-Pop Demon Hunters only made it in for song, I think it's not as strong as the others. And so even though I feel like it's gonna struggle late, but still, it might struggle for song later on down the line, especially since Wild Robot and Pinocchio couldn't do it, and Spider-Verse. I do feel like it would still get in at the Critics' Choice Awards. And also there might be a whole Barbie thing going on with Sinners, because they might nominate Last Time I Seen the Sun and Pale Pale Moon, because they both showed up in the shortlist. I'm like, if they put those in the shortlist, I feel like those could just get in. And again, I don't think Girl in the Bubble and No Place Like Home from Wicked are gonna be nominated for the Oscar, especially considering the people that even like the film say that the new songs are very forgettable. I've talked to so many people. They're saying that, yeah, the new songs are the worst part. Still, I think they would make it in for Critics' Choice. Number 7, Train Dreams. I think Train Dreams is more likely for the Oscar, but I'd be a little bit surprised if it managed to squeeze in here. Clothed by the Sun from the Testament of Ann Lee. I'm not sure. Dream as One from Avatar: Fire and Ash. I mean, well, to be fair, even the last Avatar song didn't get in. Lose My Mind and Drive from F1 the movie, those songs could maybe get in. Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless. I think the Critics' Choice were being kind of coy with this one. It's like, oh, we're aware of Diane Warren too, but I don't think this gets nominated. This is gonna be like a Oscars thing. And then Highest to Lowest from Highest to Lowest. I don't think this film is very visible, to be honest, so it's probably not gonna happen. But yeah, guys, those are my predictions for the Critics' Choice Awards nominations. Again, the nominations are going to come out on Friday, which I'm really excited for. Again, award season has started, so I'm pumped. And so, yeah, I think now I'm going to pass the question off to you. What are your Critics' Choice Award predictions for nominations? Let me know in the comments below what you think. And also keep in mind, I'm also on Award Expert, so if you want to see any updates I make to my predictions, follow me on there at the Hannahcast. It's still the same. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And be sure you hit that subscribe button, because if you don't, the critics aren't going to choose you.